Appreciate you all for getting on. Definitely grab something to take some notes with. We're going to cover quite a bit of information, and I don't know your skill level in the crypto space. So even if you're a beginner and you can't spell crypto, it's all right. I think there's a couple folks that fit that description on here. No big deal. But some of you all are very, very well versed. And so my name is Austin Zulauf out here in Lexington, Kentucky. Appreciate you all hopping on today. We wanted to put this together. I made a post the other day just talking a little bit about cryptocurrency and how there's so much just smoke and mirrors and BS and confusion out there in the crypto space. And I've been really successful in the crypto arena. It's been really good for me and my family. But I've seen a lot as well. And, you know, I've had some great wins. I've taken some great losses, and yeah, I've been part of some things that didn't pan out and all that sort of thing. But a lot of times whenever you're part of the crypto community, you might get wind of something that's really, really special every so often. And imagine being one of the first people to get involved in Bitcoin. You know, so right now, we're in a really privileged place, and I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman that's going to share with you something that is pretty phenomenal. So about less than a month ago, they launched this project that they're going to talk about this project as well, but there's a couple projects coming up that you all can be a part of and see returns like this. That's got, each one of them has the potential for returns like this, but we put in US dollars. So, you know, what is that, like 70 times the investment? So each one of the projects that they're going to be talking about from this point forward has the potential for that. But I want you all to think in terms of long-term, if you can, with crypto. I know a lot of folks want to get in, make a bunch of money and get out. I think of it more long-term now than I did whenever I first got involved in the space. But I wanted to bring this to you guys because we got wind. Some of my partners and I, Nicole, I know some of you all know Joe and some other folks that are on here. We got wind of something that is really special, and I wanted to give you guys a heads up on some things that are coming and invite you to become part of a community that holds some real true value. So the gentleman that I'm going to be introducing is, I mean, he's a serial entrepreneur, innovator. He's an absolute visionary, and he speaks multiple languages, English and crypto. So, I mean, he speaks this crypto speak that's way above my head. So I had to bring in translators, you know, two of my top crypto experts that could basically tell me what he was saying. But he's a phenomenal gentleman. Matter of fact, whenever I found out that he was the inventor of some of the toys that I played with when I was a kid, I don't know if you guys remember Pogs, but I used to buy those at the skating rink. He invented those. I used to buy those everywhere, the gas station, but he invented those. Matter of fact, he's got patents just out the wazoo. He founded American Game Caps back in the 90s. He founded Toy Craze in 97, which is a collectible toy that swept the nation, ended up in over 60 million Happy Meals, and received several special licenses. I mean, he's been in Entrepreneur magazine, Wall Street Journal, Forbes magazine, pretty much every single major publication that you can think of over the past 2 decades and some change. But he's done some amazing stuff in the crypto space as well. Founder and CEO of Kula Brands in 2016, and Digibot Inc. as well, which is a crypto trading bot software. And I could literally spend the rest of your Sunday afternoon talking about all the insane and incredible accomplishments that Peter has already accomplished in his lifetime. But he's making it very evident with every conversation we have that the best is far yet to come, and he's going to present the best to you all. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to my good friend, the man of the hour, a true visionary, Peter Gantner. Peter, Zoom is yours.
Thank you, Austin. So me and Austin haven't known each other that long. Joe introduced us to him, just recently, but I got to tell you, when Joe called me and said, "Hey, I'm talking with Austin, Z," and I went, "What? Oh, wow. That's fantastic." And then to be able to share this with them, and I got to tell you guys, he vetted us, right? He says, "Wait a minute, I don't know. Let me get you on with this guy, and let me get you on with this person." And we went through this process of checking it out and making sure that this was the right project. But to have somebody like Austin look at this, and then, his reputation out there in the space is absolutely phenomenal, right? Somebody who's been number one earner in 3 separate companies, life coach. I mean, just the success that he's created in the lives of other people, to have him to be able to look at this and say, and of course we have to start with, this is not a business opportunity, guys. It's a business. Crypto is a business. These projects are businesses, but there's not a compensation model behind this. So to have somebody like Austin look at this and say, "You know what, I've got to get this out to the people that I'm working with," is incredible. And I'm looking forward to it. As a matter of fact, me and Austin have begun to talk about some projects that he has in his mind, because, I'm pretty creative when it comes to business ideas and business concepts. But Austin's got it too, right? Because it's just, he shared with me an idea that works beautifully in the crypto space, on the chain, and through the whole process of the technology that's been built. So we're going to be talking about working together on that and helping him move that forward in that way. So it's great to be able to work with incredible people that have spent a lifetime building up a great reputation. Joe's one of those people, right? Joe calls, people answer the phone because of his integrity and what he's done. And Austin is exactly the same way. You listen when these type of people speak. And so we're honored that they've looked at the opportunity of what we're doing in this space and have said, "Wow, we want to be involved and we want to be a part of that." So I will let you guys know, it is our goal over the next 5 to 8 years is to create over $1 trillion worth of wealth in the crypto blockchain space. And the way that we're going to be doing that is a little bit different than a lot of the other projects that are out there. Prior to looking at the crypto space, about 6 years ago, I had this idea and this concept that community was commerce, right? That a community that comes together for a common purpose. That common purpose needs to be narrow, and that would be what? Creating wealth for everybody that was part of that community. That was true power, right? Collective intelligence, collective finance, collective network. The collective was way more powerful than the individual by themselves. And if we could just come together, leave all the other crazy stuff on the side, politics and religion and all that stuff, right? And focus simply on helping each other build lifetime residual income, that would be a powerful model. At that time, I knew of crypto, but I really didn't understand the blockchain, where the real value of crypto is. So real quick, a lot of people that I talk to go, "Oh, crypto, that's just something that somebody sat down and they create a computer program and it creates this money out of nowhere." That's actually not necessarily the case. When you're dealing with real crypto projects, the blockchain is the power. It is a perfect technology that allows for the blockchain creates value in the lives of people like you and I, and it's going to change our world. A matter of fact, I believe that the economic change that we're in right now, this shift with cryptocurrency, is the largest economic movement in the history of mankind at this point. There's more opportunity and there's more the ability for more people to make more money than there has been in anything else. And that includes the internet, right? It includes, we've watched the billionaires in the .com. We've watched, things explode, right, over the last, especially 25 years or so, the Jeff Bezos and stuff. There is a difference, though, here than in the internet time. In the internet time, smart people got together and said, "Wow, this internet thing's going to change the world," right? Eventually, who knew, right, that you could order something on Amazon and 2 hours later have it at your door, right? 3 hours later have it at your door. That was ever going to be a possibility. Well, Jeff Bezos understood it, and today he's worth $100 billion. In those days, though, you started a company, you held on to the majority of it, you brought in wealthy investors in the first phases of it, and those wealthy investors would get wealthier. And then over time, eventually it would get to the public markets and those stocks would be available and people would do pretty well on those stocks themselves. The difference is here, guys, is with the blockchain and cryptocurrency, it's actually being changed quite a bit. These projects, what are called DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. Essentially what it means is that it's instead of a centralized organization with a founder and somebody who's the major owners in it and in early investors, DAOs are owned by the people that are a part of them. Finally, community is commerce. The community that is the holder of that cryptocurrency is actually the owners, the people, the direct benefactors of whatever that organization creates. That is the reason why. So if you take the technology of the blockchain, which by the way, guys, is going to change just about every aspect of your life. It is. And, there were times in my lifetime. And it was Austin talking about he played when he was a kid with one of the toys that I did. I think it aged me a little bit there, right? I'm like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. All right. So there are things that came up, and maybe some of you guys are old enough like me to remember it, when it was hard to get people to use an ATM machine, right? But ATMs now, we all go and we use them more than we probably go into the bank nowadays, right? And now it's getting to where I don't even need to go to the bank. I could take a picture with my phone and make a deposit, right? If you get a check, even at that. So there's things that happen in life and people come along and say, man, that's going to be gigantic. That's going to be huge. Some people listen and some people go, no, and they just wait. And eventually the people that listen and engage become the ones that can benefit from it financially. And the ones that wait until everybody else is doing it are the ones that become the customers of it. So my question is this: are you going to be a customer of crypto and the blockchain, or are you going to be somebody who benefits financially from it? We decided we were going to be somebody who is going to benefit financially from it. And I'm a lifetime entrepreneur, right? That's all I've ever wanted to do. From the age of 12 years old, I never wanted to be a fireman or any of that type of stuff. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I love the concept and the idea of business and moving forward. And so we got into crypto, made some money in crypto. It was good. And then about a year ago, we had built some software, some trading software. It's incredible. Digibot, it's making people money. That's all awesome. But about the beginning of this year, of course, the Binance Smart Chain came about and it launched. And finally, you had high-speed transactions. You had low-cost transactions. And all of a sudden, we jumped into that and we started buying and swapping for different cryptos. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't even want to count the number of rug pulls and honeypots and all the crazy stuff somebody like myself, who's pretty sophisticated in the space, got caught up in. And I was actually watching a video of a gentleman who made $10 million in 6 months in the crypto space. And he was on the video and he had said, yeah, and he was talking about his success. And he said, yeah, but I've been caught up in over 100 rug pulls. And I thought, wait a minute, here's somebody who's made a fortune in the space and he got caught up in rug pulls. And me and Corey began to chase the coin launches of tokens. And it was like, oh, wow, we're going to make a lot of money in these coin launches. Some we did and some we didn't. And so what I started to realize is that even though the crypto opportunity is the biggest opportunity in the history of mankind here, there was a problem with it. Where the big opportunity lies, there's lots of people that come in and they just want to make quick buck, right? They just want to make fast money and then run off. And they actually don't even necessarily believe in the long-term possibility of of what they're getting involved with. They're just there to make a whole bunch of quick money. And so we said, hey, there's some major problems in this industry. And we just mentioned one, right? Rug pulls, honeypots, these crazy things that were going on, people getting their wallets hacked. And so me and Corey started to deal with lots of problems. And then we started to talk to other people in the space. And we found out that the other people out there had the same problems that we did. I'm going to ask a quick question here. If you've been caught up in a rug pull, if you're in the crypto space, a rug pull, a honeypot, lost money in the crypto space by getting involved in a bad project, just stick a 1 in the chat there real quick, guys. from it. So you're going to see that anybody who's been in the crypto space have been caught up in these because they're so prevalent. There's so many of them out there. Well, how do we avoid this? How do we get away from this? And so we began to think up ideas because, again, I'm a problem solver. If there's a problem, there's got to be a solution. Otherwise, it's just a fact of life, right? So then you got to learn to live with it. But I knew there were solutions out there. And so then we said, well, why don't we form a token that would then help avoid at least the scam side of things, right? And how do you do that? Vetting. So there are three things necessary in order to build a successful crypto project. The first is the technology. So we have the blockchain technology, which is perfect. And then on top of that, you have people building because of smart contracts. Thank you, Ethereum. Thank you guys for, creating the smart contract and building that. That allows for us to come along and build on top of these chains, on top of this technology, utilizing their security and their back end on it. And then the number two is the team that's working on it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but everything prior to crypto that I ever invested in, I always knew who the founders were or who were running it because that's what I wanted to know, right? Who's behind the project. And then all of a sudden I got into crypto and I'm getting involved in projects that I didn't know who was behind them or anything else. And I really thought about that and said, wait a minute. One of the most important things of the success of any project, anything that you're doing, are the people that are behind it. A lot of you guys in the networking space, it's the leadership you get in with. It's getting in with somebody like Austin, right? Your chances of being successful are much greater when you have a great leader and somebody who knows what they're doing than if you get in with, somebody who doesn't, and you don't have a connection to somebody who's a great builder and somebody that can help you succeed in that process. The same thing exists in the crypto space. And so one of the things that you need to, in order to have success, is you need to know the people that are behind it and running it. And then the third part of the success formula is community. So most projects have to go out and do what? They've got to go build new community over and over and over again. One of the issues here in the crypto space is it's extremely expensive, time consuming to do that. So we thought, well, how can we bring those three things together? We formed True Badger. True Badger has the people that understand technology, and we're able to help find the people that are building projects onto the blockchain that make sense, that have what we call utility to them. So that was one of the most important things, is finding projects that have utility. And when I mean utility, I mean something that provides value to somebody that they're willing to exchange something of value for it. So another cryptocurrency or money. So projects that have the ability to generate revenue on their own, not just projects that are a cryptocurrency that have an inherent value to themselves, but that there's a value that's provided to society, to whether it's business or individuals, that have the ability to bring in revenue. And then being able to talk to and vet the teams. Now, if you have a project, 20,000, 30, 40,000, 50,000 holders, there's no way that the founding team can talk directly to everybody, but there could be a team of people that were able to get on with those founders and vet them and talk to them and see if they had a balanced team in place that knew finance, that knew how to run it, that had the right technology. And then, of course, there had to be somebody who said, hey, let's go formulate that community of people, that not necessarily everybody could participate, but we could build around that to have enough people to participate to give these tokens that early start. And so that is what True Badger is. True Badger is a token that is a consulting, problem-solving token in the space. We're going to vet, we're going to find projects. Now, that does not mean I'm not a financial advisor, guys. You have to do your own research. You need to decide which projects you want to participate in and which ones you don't want to participate in. However, it is our goal the first number one goal is to make sure that there are at least no scams that are brought through the True Badger and what we call the Nexus ecosystem. You can see it above Corey's head right there. The Nexus ecosystem is the is the formula of True Badger, Catapult, Insight, Safufy, and our CNP that are all working together for this common purpose with the community. So you, if you're part of it, if you're a True Badger holder or a Catapult holder or Insights or Safufy, you are part of the Nexus ecosystem, this because you're the community part of that side of it. And so we started to look at it and said, well, what are some of the biggest problems out there? Well, being in this space, I know of at least a dozen or more people that have had their wallets hacked, right? They had crypto in their wallet and they got hacked. And we said, wait a minute, we've got to solve that problem. And that's actually one of the key things that we started with True Badger was to do that. So we said, hey, we're going to launch True Badger. And I think it was about June 4th, I think it was. And we said, we're going to launch it. And so we had 1,000 people on a Zoom call. And we were getting ready to launch the project. And right when I put the liquidity onto PancakeSwap, the bots came in and started to manipulate the heck out of the price of our token before we ever had a chance for our community, the people that we had talked to about getting involved with us, ever got a chance to start purchasing those tokens. And guys, it was insane. Within minutes, the market cap of our project was $30 million. Now, if we would have pulled the trigger and introduced this to our community, they would have all piled into it and they would have all ended up losing money. So we stopped the launch of that token and we said, we're going to delay it for 10 days. And that's when we said, now we know what the real problem is in this space. And that is, to begin with, the first one. And that is bot manipulation of the tokens on the day of launch. Now, I want to ask another question. How many of you guys have ever been, and you can put a 1 in if you want to, ever gotten involved in a project you thought you were getting in on the day one, only to have the price rise up to some ridiculous number and then have it crash back down that day? Me too as well, right? So many times. And we thought that's the problem that we need to solve. And so off of True Badger, one of the first things that we put together was a site called Catapult Swap. And that's actually where we're going to start today. I'm going to have Corey pull up Catapult Swap there. This is on our Nexus site. Catapult Swap is a premium swap platform. You can't go there and swap back and forth 1,000 different tokens. It focuses on really one core fundamental, and that is keeping the bots from being able to manipulate in a traditional swap, a decentralized swap situation where it stops people from being able to go in there and manipulate it. And the question is does it work? Well, right now I'm going to have Corey pull up our True Badger chart, and then we're going to look at really quickly. So guys, this is our chart, and we're going to actually probably, we're not going to bring up any other tokens. You guys already know what those look like, and I'm not here to put down any other token that's in the marketplace because there are tokens that go straight up, come straight back down, and over time they build back up. But we wanted to avoid that. So this is our True Badger chart. If you look, that first green candle there on the left-hand side is the launch date of True Badger when we relaunched that token. You can see that anybody that purchased tokens on that first day or swapped for tokens on that first day, they are what? In the profit right now. As a matter of fact, they're up considerably. There was only one point in time when it went a little bit below the first day launch. It was about 12 million. It went down to 10, but you can see that it recovered very quickly. This is not, if you're new to crypto and this is a first time, you really haven't heard a lot about it. This is absolutely not what most charts look like. And I know I've looked at thousands of them, right? Thousands of different projects to see that. Now, you could say that, well, they got lucky at one time. So right now, what I'd like to do, Corey, is pull up our NSI. This was the second project that we launched using Catapult Swap. You can see again, first day green candle, and then it moves forward from there. Well, one of the things when we first came on there, Austin said there's some opportunity for people to get involved in some early projects that we're working on. That next project is Safufy. It will come out, and I'm going to talk about what that project does and why we created that project as well. That project comes out on November 30th on Catapult Swap. It is the third project that we're actually launching utilizing this software. And we believe that we're going to have the same exact results. Why? Because we said there's a problem, bot manipulation, first day of launch of projects. They go and do what's called front running. Again, this is this language, this other language that, Austin said that I spoke, right? That you need a translator for. But so if you're on here and you're new, I'll just let you know, bot manipulation and front running on the day of the launch of a project is a very bad thing for the early adopters of that project. Why is this so important? I want you to think about this. If you were excited about a project and you got in on the first day, and let's say you paid $1 a token, and by the end of that day, if that token is 15 or 18 or 20 cents, are you really as excited about that project as you was the day before or when you bought into it? No, you've lost some of your excitement. Why? Because now you're down 60, 70%, and you've got to wait for it to at least get back to there. But if a project could start properly, have the right market for who's waiting on the sidelines, the people that want to be involved with it, and then build up from there, of course, that would be a much better way to start projects. And that's what we've been able to do with Catapult Swap and with the way that we're launching this. If you've been in the crypto space, you've heard the words fair launch. We do what we call a fair and balanced launch, which allows for more people to participate. The power of crypto is the network, decentralization of a network. And the great part about the way we launch is we build a strong, solid foundation of that network of people, which then allows for the stability and for the growth in that cryptocurrency for the long haul, because the project that's there. So these are two examples of how we utilize Catapult Swap to make that happen. Now, prior to that, when we started to look at the problems with it, is one of the things that we realized is that a lot of the people that we were dealing with, their wallets were getting hacked, or they were getting tricked to give up what's called their seed words. Now, I'm going to let you know that if you're new to crypto, this is your first having the talk. Never, never, never share your seed words to your crypto wallet, right? Just don't do it. Now, a lot of people don't know that because simply, they're new to the space, right? And then somebody tricks them. They send them a link. They tell them they have to sync their wallet. They do all this crazy stuff to get their seed words. So what we said is, we need to solve this problem. And so, Corey, if you could pull up Safufied. Right there, you're on it. Yep. Safufied is our solution for this. Now, what Safufied allows you to do is do what's called multi-sig wallets. Now, and I'm going to get into real quick, the first time when we came up with the concept of Safufied, it actually wasn't for this. It was actually for on the business side of it, which I'll talk about here in a second. But what we found is that using multi-sig wallets is actually as safe or safer than using a hard wallet, like a Treasure wallet, or a lot of people are pulling their stuff off chain and putting them on hard wallets, because the multi-sig wallet is protected on chain. It is safer, or at least as safe as a hard wallet. And so what we said is, let's build Safufied to help protect those assets to stop people from getting their wallets hacked. There's no situation that I know of anyone that I know that has been hacked, that if they would have been using Safufied, would have lost their tokens. In 100% of the situations that I know of, they would have been 100% protected by using this product. Now, the other side of Safufied is helping companies form DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. You guys heard me talk about earlier. I believe this is the best foundation, the best way for cryptos to actually be formed, because it allows the people of the network to be the owners, the benefactors of that network in the process. So Safufied allows for projects to come on board and set up that DAO right out of the gate. And in a DAO, it gives the people, the holders, the ability to vote on the project, right? To determine what it is. As a matter of fact, for True Badger, we just had a vote of whether I would stay the lead manager of the project and continue to run it. Of course, it went well because I'm still here. We had other votes of whether we should go on centralized exchanges. We'll have other votes coming up here in the near future of this stuff. So the cool thing is by being involved in DAOs and in these projects is you get to have a say so if you're a token holder of the direction of which the project is going to go. And so Safufied allows, so how many people out here have heard the words, we renounced ownership, or we locked our LP on Pancake Swap for 4 years or 5 years, or we permanently burned the cake, right? It's permanently locked on those. Those all sound good, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. They're being used right now. Yeah, somebody said Chinese to them. Exactly. It is another language, guys. But what it is these are solutions to problems that existed in the marketplace. So the locking of LP or the renouncement of ownership are both things that people put together to get around people being worried about rug pulls or being able to get around, honeypots, those type of problems in the space. And, but the problem is now the scam artists are using those to manipulate people, to get people to have confidence in them, when what they are is they're a solution that's not a solution. A matter of fact, they're a solution that causes problems with the projects that are out there. Because in long term, when you run a business, when you start an opportunity, if you want to create as much opportunity as possible. I'll use this as an example. What if Amazon, when they first got on, started selling books, locked themselves into just being a bookseller? They weren't going to sell all the other products that were out there. They weren't going to do all the other stuff that was there. They would have still been maybe a who knows what size company, right? But they wouldn't be what they are today. There's going to be a lot of changes coming up and a lot of innovations in the crypto space. By doing these things that they're doing, this renouncement of ownership and locking LP, they're actually limiting the future and the potential of the cryptocurrencies that you guys are getting involved with that are doing that. So Safufied will solve those problems. Multi-sig wallets help protect assets without having to lock them up. It also helps protect contracts from being able to be manipulated, which is why they started locking them in the first place. And I don't want to get into too much depth here. Just know, guys, Safufied solves that problem. Now, another problem that we were having in the space is we were buying these tokens and they had tax, fee for swapping in and out of, or they had what's called reflection or some form of staking. And it was very hard to know when we should exit out of them or when we shouldn't exit them, how to trade them, how to have the information, the price of the token's going down. Should I sell or should I buy? Corey, why don't we jump out to Insights? So Insights is our trading software that we built. We actually just took this token to the marketplace here recently. That was the one that Austin was talking about. And the one that we showed you, the chart, the second chart that we showed you for Safufied that's this chart right here, guys, from there. And this is the charts for Safufied, okay? For Insights. And Insights is a trading software. The cool thing is, buddy, if you jump out to Insights, all right, so one of the things that Insights does, it does exactly what its name is. It gives you the insights into what's going on into a token. So we would all agree that what you want to know about a token is what are the major holders doing? What are the people that have, that are close to the project? And usually whales, and just so you know, whales are not the things that go around in the ocean and squirt water up in the air. These are actually large token holders, the people who have a lot of a large percentage of that token. The largest holders are what the whales are. And this software, Corey, can you pull that back up, buddy? This software, and I'm going to show you why. This is an analysis. If you go back to the True Badger chart, there was an area where we had a drop down and then we built back up. Corey's going to show it to you right now. That area right there. If you didn't have the information, you would think, oh my goodness, a whole bunch of people are selling off in this area. But if you go to Insights, this is actually analysis of that moment in time. If you had the Insight software, this shows what the whales were doing. So people who are the significant holders. It shows that only 1% of the big holders were selling off there. Matter of fact, there's only about 3 or 4 people that were selling off right there. And then there was one person who sold off in the next drop there. 84% of the big holders were holding, but that the third one over is the major one. 15% of the whales were buying. Now I got to tell you guys, now it's not on here. It doesn't say Peter, but I was one of the whales that were buying. Why? Because I was a founder of the company. I knew an event was coming that was going to help rebuild. And Corey, if you can go right back to the True Badger site, the event happened. You see that little green candle after the two red ones there. That next day right there, we actually got on a phone call with a group of people. And from there, we began to build and move things forward and head it up. And of course, those guys made a mistake. But what would have happened is if you had insights, and maybe that second guy right there who sold off, if he would have had insights, he would have saw that the whales, 15% of them were buying, 84% were holding, and only a small percentage of people had decided to jump out of the project. And of course, the history you can see right there on the charts, right, of what's going on with it. All right, so guys, that's insights. And then our final project that we're building out is CNP, which is our entrance into the NFT space. So that is going to be both entertainment, so art, music, all of those type of NFTs, as well as financial NFTs. We've come up with some very unique concepts in this space in order to move forward with. So this is our Nexus ecosystem. So what are we going to do with it? We are going to be bringing projects through this system. They'll use Catapult to do their first initial swap. They will use Safufy to protect the assets for you guys, the holders, right? The DAO, they're all DAOs. They will use it to protect the contract. They will use insights to then be able to trade those cryptos and get volume coming in, which creates opportunity for it. They will use CNP for financial NFTs and for art and entertainment NFTs. And so in us, the True Badger team will go do the initial vetting to make sure that they're real teams, that they understand how to build and that they have the knowledge and that the technology there. So our tech people, our blockchain people, our UI people will look at their technology, look at their software and make sure that it has the ability to function properly, right? And that it has the ability to be able to deliver on what they're doing. And so now where you guys come into the picture. It's the early community that will bring to these projects that will allow them to have the success and build the resources in order to be successful. So hopefully this is starting to make sense for the people that are out there and looking for it. So I think that if all of us that are on here that have said we've gotten in scam projects, if you could just eliminate the scams, the bad projects you've gotten to the rug pulls, how much more profitable would you be in the space? And if you would have taken that and put it into a good project that could have gotten you a 2 or 3 or 5 or 10x or 20 or 30x return, how much further ahead would you be? So just that alone with the Nexus ecosystem of being able to eliminate the fact that you're getting involved in those projects is incredible in itself. But there was another problem that we ran across that we said we've got to solve. And that is the being able to get people onboarded into crypto. Now, I want to ask another question real quick. If you guys could put a 1 in. If it was difficult for you to figure out and get involved in crypto, or you've tried to help other people get into crypto and it's been tough to do that, can you put a 1 in the chat there? Yeah, guys, it is tough to get into this space. And so we said, how do we solve that? Well, first of all, you have to understand that there's a lot of information out there. You can go on YouTube and see videos on how to set up a MetaMask and how to purchase here. And a matter of fact, every project that has swapping stuff, they all put out videos, they all put out stuff. Why is it still so difficult? Because there's one problem is it's not necessarily the lack of just the information. It's the fear, even once you have that information, to decide to move forward. So we said, we've got to solve that problem, the fear problem. And so what we did is we put together what is called help.truebadger.io. Corey, can you pull that up, bud? And this is what we call our onboarding system. And so just like what you can find on YouTube and all these other areas, guys, we have that information. So Corey's going to go ahead and click on it. He's going to walk you through it a little bit. When you first get to it, guys, it's going to walk you through and ask you what device the person is using. It's going to ask you if they already have a wallet. It's going to ask them if they already have crypto. And if they, however they answer that question, it's going to take them into a funnel. Now, this funnel has the same videos that are on YouTube. It has the write-ups that you can find in many other places. But what it has that the other sites and the other ways don't have is, you see that yellow button up there in the top that says, I'm stuck, I need help? Corey, go ahead and click on that, bud. Right there, this is going to pop up. It's going to tell them that they need Zoom. And the reason why they need Zoom is we have live operators sitting there waiting to help walk them through the process. And I liken this to the first time you ever went on a roller coaster, or maybe you went to a haunted house and you were afraid to go in, but you went in anyway or on the ride anyway. Why? Because you either had your mom or your dad with you, or maybe big brother and big sister, and you knew that they would protect you, right? They would help walk you through it. And so that's what we've put in place, guys, that is absolutely unique here. I do not know of another project. And if there is one, please let me know, guys, if you know of one that's out there. And I'm not talking about, people that are in a network with people that are helping them on board. This is actually our project, True Badger. See, what we said is, guys, we can go out and spend our money on hiring influencers, big YouTube people and all that stuff, and on banner ads and all that crazy stuff like everybody else is doing. Or we could put our money into onboarding individuals. So I'm going to give you my philosophy here is I believe that if we want to stop overregulation, not just here in the US, but around the world, the number one thing we need to do is we need to grow the crypto space. And as long as it is difficult and there's a barrier to entry by the difficulty of getting into the crypto space, then it is going to give us, it's going to set up the situation for overregulation. If we can get this to as many people as possible, as many people as we can that then can get involved and benefit from this. A matter of fact, when we first got into the space, I thought to myself, either this will be the biggest economic opportunity for individuals to build wealth and create success in their lives, or this will be just another way for wealthy people to get even wealthier. We'll see the first trillionaires and, those excessive wealth, or we can do it. What do we need to do in order to make it to where it's more people becoming successful than the wealthier just getting wealthier and wealthier? We need to then get more people into the space. And that's why we have set up this onboarding process to allow to help new people get into crypto. Corey, if you can go back to our chart, I'll tell you guys one of the big reasons why our charts are the way that they are. 50% of the people that we brought in had never been into crypto before. They wanted to be in crypto, but they couldn't get into it. We helped onboard them into it. If you go to Insights, it's the same way, guys. A large portion of these people were never in crypto before. They wanted to be into it. They wanted to benefit from it. They had heard of their friends who had gotten into tokens and made a 5X, a 10X, a 20X. They had heard of the people that have made millions of dollars in the space. They heard of the Bitcoin story, but they did not know how to get into the space. And so we're doing this onboarding. So we're now marketing and advertising, but what we're marketing and advertising, guys, is our onboarding system to bring new people into crypto. One, to defend and make sure that there's less overregulation. Two is because I believe that individuals, deserve a chance to be part of this big movement and not miss it. Most of us probably missed the .com boom and didn't make our fortunes then. Most of us probably missed the 2008, real estate. We didn't miss losing money on our house, but what we missed is buying 10 houses, right? And holding on to them and, renting them out and now selling them and making a fortune. You don't have to miss the crypto space, this crypto movement, this whole blockchain movement of being able to build wealth. You're right here, right now on here. We're building this Nexus ecosystem that has all of the projects that solve major problems in the issue that then will allow you to find great projects that you can participate in and move forward with. Austin, do you want to open it up maybe for a couple of questions on it, or where'd you like to go from here?
Yeah, sure. I think that would be good. I think that anyway, based off the feedback that I'm getting, a lot of people are pretty much blown away. You've taken a lot of the guesswork out of getting into the crypto space, and especially some of these harder to acquire tokens, you know, like SafuFi and NSI and all that, because they're not on Coinbase or something like that that most people are familiar with. I wasn't familiar with MetaMask until, you know, a couple months ago. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, and we'll do just a little bit of Q&A for you guys, and take it from there.
Hey, sure. Right quick, Austin, Peter, I love that comment right there. The gentleman said, as a senior citizen, I love this. The senior citizens, we've noticed a real huge, what's the word for that? Influx of the senior citizens now, because we're able to help them through. There's no help out there. Nobody has help. And we're doing something out there nobody's doing. Not only are we creating amazing projects with real utility, we're actually out here helping people. So I'm just so excited about seeing those comments like that. It just makes my day.
And guys, somebody's asking, you know, where's the best place to get social media from? TrueBadger.io. All the links. A matter of fact, I'll give you guys this if you're new to crypto. Don't go to Telegram or Twitter and put in the name of the project that you're looking for. Go to that project's official website, and you want to link out to them from there. And by the way, I want to let you guys know, our onboarding system is not just, they're not going to say, oh, you need to buy True Badger, you need to buy Catapult or Insights. It is there to help get people started right in the crypto sphere, right? In this crypto thing that's being built out right now. So there is not that requirement. We find that most people end up buying the project because, you know, we're the help and the assistance, and these are great projects to be involved with. But ultimately, it's our goal is to bring in as many people as we can in the crypto space to keep this decentralized, to keep it growing in the way that it's headed towards.
So we've got a couple of questions. First of all, Brenda said, what's the cost to join? This isn't a network marketing deal, so it's whatever you want to put in. And another.
And also, can I touch on that real quick? Guys, yes. The thing I love about crypto and the blockchain is this. You can start with $5, right? $10. You can start with very small amounts. And when you start seeing 4, 5, 6, 10x returns, I'll give a quick story here. Is one of the people that got involved with us, he was trying to get a girl into a program that was $400 for her to get involved with, not this program, right? And she only had $150. And so he says, hey, this Insights thing is coming out, right? This NSI. He goes, why don't you put the $150 into NSI? And she did that. And she was able to pull out the $400 to get into the program that he wanted her to get into. And she still has $1,500 worth of Insights sitting in her wallet. So from $150, that was all the fees, the cost to get that converted from fiat to crypto, get involved in the system. And now she's up over $1,000, and she was able to get into that program. That's the power of what we're talking about here when we start talking about crypto.
Yeah, man. And Nathan Hernandez asked, what was that coin that I put $500 in and made? It was Insights. It was Peter's project he was just talking about, $500. And as of yesterday, it is down a little bit. That $500 initial investment, as you see in the bottom right-hand corner, is about. And so,
and of course, guys, we're not financial advisors. There's never any guarantees on returns and that type of stuff, right? But it's we're building some incredible projects here, guys, that do give you. I can tell you that on Insights day one, there's not a single person that's involved in that project that is not at least in the first phase on Catapult that is at least not 4x their money. So they've made at least 4 times their initial swap in from that project.
So so Trevor said, is this purchased through Binance? I'm in Texas and don't believe I'm able to use BNB.
You can use BNB, but you need to use it through a decentralized, like Pancake Swap is where you need to do that from. But of course, you know, I'm not a regulator, right? So on those things, but MetaMask, Pancake Swap that you can get involved with on that side of it. So if you go through our onboarding system, guys, they'll get you. Even like I said, even if you're in crypto, maybe you haven't started to play on the Binance Smart Chain and that side of it, you can. We are going to be going on to a couple other chains here in the next month or so, which is Phantom and then also Matic. So we'll have a couple of other chains that you could participate in on the tokens from there.
So there was a couple other ones. Let's see, what was that? Sherry asked, is fiat currency the only way to purchase?
So you have to go from fiat to crypto. And again, our onboarding people will help you through that process. There are projects. One of them is Cash App, right? Crypto.com. These are all ways to move from fiat into crypto and then from crypto into the projects, whether it's True Badger, Catapult. There's two of the tokens right now that are out, and that's Insights and True Badger. The third one is coming on November 30th. That'll be the process. We'll have a call on the 22nd, which is tomorrow. That'll walk through the process of what you need to do in order to participate into Safufied if you want to get in on the early part of that.
So Corey dropped in the chat, go here to see all of our projects, Nexus Ecosystem.io. Definitely check that out. Peter, how can they stay plugged in and get information on when the calls are? Is there a Facebook group or a Telegram community or something to that nature?
TrueBadger.io. Go there. We have a calendar on there for the calls and the stuff that we have going. But our Telegram group is our most active group to get involved with that. And I would, again, go out to TrueBadger.io, click on the Telegram icon. It'll take you right to our group. No fake group, right? It'll take you to the real group, and then you can sign up for that and get involved with that. Somebody had asked the question, which project do you get involved with? That's really up to you guys. You can look at it from True Badger. It has something to do with all the projects, or you can look at it and say, hey, I like the idea of being able to trade software, you know, these tokens, right? This software trading. So I'm going to get into that token. Or you like the fact of the multi-sig wallet side of things, you can decide to get involved in that. There are people that are involved in all three of them. One of the things I can say is if you own True Badger, and these are being done right now, what are called snapshots. Snapshots are, we take a picture of the entire chain, the entire blockchain. And again, if I'm talking Chinese, don't worry about it. It's a good thing. And we look at what True Badger tokens everyone has in all the wallets out there. And that allows you to participate in what we call claimed airdrops, where we actually give you tokens in other projects. So we did this with Insights. Right now, it's over $1.5 million are the airdrops that we've done with Insights tokens to the holders of True Badger at the time when we launched Insights. So that was not, they didn't pay for it just by simply holding True Badger tokens. They received the Insights tokens. And we're going to be doing that with Safufied. So if you hold True Badger tokens, you'll get some Safufied tokens between now and December 5th is the last snapshot for that. So that would be definitely, you know, one of the projects you might want to consider holding on to. We just brought on our first project, which will be launching in January, which is not one of our direct ecosystem. So Catapult, Insight, Safufied, and CNP, but it's an additional project that we'll be bringing out. They have committed to taking 3% of the total tokens of that project and then doing the same thing, a claimed reward for True Badger holders when those snapshots take place as we get closer to it. And we'll announce those dates of when they'll happen.
Nice. I didn't even know that, Peter. So I've got another wallet that has True Badger in it. So I must have some more insights that I didn't even know about. So
you got to go do your claim. Yeah, we need to walk you through. We need to walk Austin through claiming his. That's, you know, I was on there the other day. I'm like, wow, still 27 trillion tokens haven't been claimed yet. You're one of those 27 trillion. We'll have to get you to claim those.
Well, that's cool. Brenda said, so I can go on Exodus or MetaMask and find True Badger or Insights.
So what you'll have to do is on MetaMask, and I don't know on Exodus because I don't use it that much. I do have a wallet. On MetaMask, you'll have to add the token to the wallet address. So on the DeFi side, you'll have to go through that process. Best thing to do is jump on to our onboarding system, and they'll walk you through adding True Badger onto it. Where you can find them, though, is on PancakeSwap. That's the number one exchange that they're trading on right now. So you can go to PancakeSwap and you can find True Badger and Insights both on that. We're on CoinMarketCap. So if you want to look them up, you can look them up on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. We're on both of those sites for you to be able to find the contract address to then go on to adding them on there. You want to make sure that, guys, if you're going to deal with a token, that you find the original contract address. Matter of fact, Corey, can you pull up True Badger and show them where it is on the True Badger site and Insights? So if you guys say, hey, man, I want to get some of those tokens, before you go to PancakeSwap and purchase the token, swap for them, you want to go to truebadger.io and you want to go right there where the contract address is, and you want to copy that contract address. That is the official contract address. Do not send your tokens to that address. This is for you to be able to buy them. Can I buy them on Trust Wallet? Yeah, you'll need the contract address, what Corey was just showing you. But once you paste that in and you pull that up on Trust Wallet, you can purchase them through Trust Wallet or swap for them for Trust Wallet. So on both of our sites, you guys can go there. Insights is Insights DeFi. Oh, Corey took it away. Insights DeFi Trader.io. So that's the site if you want to get some Insights tokens. By the way, guys, on all of these, the software is not coming in 3 months or 6 or 9 or 12 months. The software for Catapult is already up and running. We've already used it to launch 2 tokens, going to use it to do a 3rd one. Safufied is the multi-sig wallet part of it for individuals, is already up and running. And Insights right now is in beta testing and will roll out in the next 2 weeks, the full suite of it being able to be used by the 1st week in December. So these are all functioning, working products that are already in the process of. Catapult's already generated revenue. Safufied, it will begin to generate revenue once we go to the business side of things, and then Insights will start generating revenue in December. So these are already up and running working projects. Of course, we're going to continue to improve them and make them better. With Safufied, we have all kinds of great ideas and concepts that we're going to be rolling out to expand it, but they are all revenue producing projects very quickly out of the gate. And I say that because being in the crypto space, I have a project I've been in for a year and the product is still coming, right? We all have probably these ones that we're in that in 6 months or a year or 2 years. And there's a reason for a lot of them. They're very sophisticated, very in-depth things in the space. But all the projects that we have right now are projects that are a bit readily available and that are already up and running and providing value.
Where you're at right now, Nexus Ecosystem.io, if someone were a beginner in network, and everything's always with me, network marketing. If someone were a beginner in cryptocurrency, this is where they would go to start to be able to get True Badger and NSI and all that, right?
Yeah, so they can go here and learn about the projects, and then the links to all the websites, which is where they would go and then get the contract addresses. And of course, on the websites where the 2 tokens are available, NSI and for True Badger, there is a buy link on top of there. So you can go right there and click to buy it right away. It'll take you to PancakeSwap if you already know what you're doing. So and this, by the way, guys, will already put the contract address in. So it's going to end up pulling up. You got to give it a second when you get there. But it'll eventually ask you, yes, I understand, and then import it. And that's going to bring the True Badger in, and then you'll be able to purchase that right there from there. So you can either go to purchase it from there, or it'll take you out to the website where you can go and find the buy there. So visit the website and learn all about the projects.
So to keep it super simple, just go to nexusecosystem.io. And if you want to stay plugged in with Peter and the group, what was that one more time? Because I literally just bugged the hell out of Corey and Peter, but what should everyone do?
They can go to help.truebadger.io. Help.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you guys just want to go, like Austin said, just keep it super streamlined. Just go to nexusecosystem.io and then click the begin with crypto button. And then that'll take you to getting the help that you need if you need it, and the walkthrough of the onboarding system.
Yeah. Because I just got a text from a buddy of mine that says, I'm still pretty lost. And so I get it. And so nexusecosystem.io and then help.truebadger.io, correct? Those are the two places you want to go, and that the answers will be there, right?
Yeah, just if you go to the nexusecosystem.io, you can get to the help one from there.
Yeah, guys, that's exactly why we have our entire onboarding staff ready. They're every day helping people walk through to get them unlost, get them found. So it's very streamlined, guys, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, can you put the link in the chat, Corey? Monica is asking. So
Yeah.
if you put that link in the chat. And guys, we have our help staff on board right now. So as soon as we get off here, if you want to go to that, they can help unconfuse you. Just go through, answer the first questions. There'll be a little video that'll play. And then you can just hit I'm stuck, and they'll take you right into one of the rooms, and they'll help you out and get you going through the system. So, and get you set up and help walk you through that process. So again, and Austin set this up perfectly as the professional and just phenomenal, understanding of what he has as a leader in the space is he set it up and he said, I spoke multiple languages, and it's the crypto language, but it is a language that you need to do yourself a favor, and you need to learn at least enough about it to get involved with it. You do not want to miss this opportunity, guys, of getting involved in the crypto space. It is going to, and it is today, the largest economic movement in our lifetimes. It is going to change the world. And just think that we're back in 1996, and I just came on here and started to tell you about the internet, and that the internet was going to change the world. And you're like, well, yeah, I haven't heard of it though. I don't understand it. I don't understand HTTPS. I don't understand what are all these things. What are they talking about? What is dial-up? What is high speed? What is all this, and so you said, I'm not going to worry about it. And now today it's a matter of fact, we're watching this presentation right now on a Zoom around the world. I want you to think about it. I was actually talking to a group the other day. Is when I was in business in the early days, we used to go to Kinko's, and it wasn't Kinko's. Yes, it was Kinko's at that time. And they had a room set up in every Kinko's, and you would go there and you would do video conferencing. And it was $125 an hour in those days for you to go in, and then the other people would go to Kinko's as well, and you could have video conferences that cost that. Now here we are, 30 years later, and we're on the internet in people's homes, broadcasting around the world. That's an incredible advancement, guys. And we are now, right now, I'm telling you, this in 5 to 10 years, the blockchain cryptocurrency is going to change your life. And what's the proof of that? Go look up the name of Facebook right now. Okay. The corporate name for Facebook is not Facebook anymore. It's Meta. What is the metaverse? The metaverse, in order for that to come about, the blockchain is the base of where that is heading to. It's what is now allowing for the metaverse to be built and for that stuff to move forward. So you've got a major US corporation or global corporation that has said, wait a minute, this is the direction that the world is heading in. And so they're moving, and I think they're going to spend $30 billion over the next year building out technology and building out stuff. How do you participate in it? You get involved in the crypto space and you start moving forward. We definitely want to keep this as decentralized as possible instead of turning it into just another giant centralized situation. And that means people like us, you, me, Austin, Corey, Joe, John, Mark, we need to get involved with it, and we need to get as many people involved with it as fast as we possibly can by sharing it out there and bringing them through. So hopefully other groups and other people will catch on to this onboarding thing. Hopefully we don't have to onboard all 1 billion people. It might take a lot of work to do it, but hopefully some other people will jump in and help out. And also, here's a great key, guys. Simplicity is coming. Right now, there are some complexities to getting into the crypto space. This is when people are positioning themselves. We just helped somebody the other day in 2013. He went on, didn't really know much about it, but he bought 1 Bitcoin and then he forgot about it. And it sat in his wallet until he heard us talk about crypto on a call. He went and said, wait a minute, I think I have some of that. He went and found his wallet, found his paperwork. He paid $113. He had his receipt for that 1 Bitcoin. He was able to go and take, what did he get out of it, Corey? 62 or 63,000?
Yeah, it was like 63 grand.
63 grand, guys. He bought it in 2013. Didn't know what he was doing, but he bought it anyway. And now, of course, was able to turn that in $113 into over 60 grand. Those opportunities are not gone. They're not over with. They're just beginning, as this is still the early stages. And the reason why I know that is because it's still difficult to get into crypto. When it is easy to get into crypto, those moments will not exist. You'll still be able to make some decent money, but you're not going to make those kind of, the difficulty is why the opportunity exists. But we've made it as simple as possible by having real people that will walk you through the process to get you involved in the space and help you out. So again, Austin, I want to thank you. It's been incredible working with you over these last 4 or 5 weeks as we've begun to talk and get to meet you. There's not a lot of opportunities in life to meet incredible people that you say, you know what, this is somebody that I'm looking forward to building a lot of stuff with and working with. You are a leader of leaders, my friend, and I really appreciate everything that you've done to help us out.
It's my pleasure, my friend. And someone just texted me and said, Austin, wake up. I was up till about 5 a.m. I just brought on a team from Japan. So I'm sitting over here like, you know, I've had 2 hours of sleep. So I think I look all right considering, but thank you for all the kind words, Peter. You still blow me away every time I look at all the stuff you've accomplished. I think of how many lifetimes I would need to get all that done. And you've done it in one. It's pretty impressive, but I appreciate you guys. And I appreciate everybody for getting on as well. And, you know, looking forward to seeing everybody on any calls that they plug into, because chances are me and Joe will probably be on those. So thank you.